And even like when someone says she believes the earth is flat, I don't believe the earth is flat. Let me clarify something. I know the earth is flat. There is science out there that debunks all of the bullshit.
It's not science. It's not science. It's not. You can't say that.
No, we even have mathematical equations that debunk gravity, and it's actually electron spins.
No.
So let me tell you this.
No.
I've even taken this to professors. I'm not kidding you. We know this shit.
No.
There's a lot of physicists even at Texas A&M that even work with all of this stuff, and when they even go to their conferences with these, I think there was. I just wanted
Light
to
is life, everyone. Light is life. Friend of the show. The only naturopath that has actually withstood the heat of the kitchen.
Hola.
Hola.
No, so something you don't know about me is I do have a husband.
Okay.
And I have a son who's 21.
Wait,
My
what?
husband and I have been together since I was in middle school.
Oh, wow. Wait. I'm sorry. What was the 21 thing? You got married?
My son is 21.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah, he's married too, but my husband and I have been together since I was in middle school.
Oh, cool. How long have you guys been married?
Since I don't know, 2007, I think.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm one of those weird ones that don't remember dates very well.
Jen, I thought the same thing. I thought you were saying you had a 21-year-old husband, and I was like, okay.
Oh, no.
Damn,
No, my son's 21.
Damn.
No, my husband's in his 40s like me, so no.
Okay, chill.
No. I could not, no.
I know, no. Right? I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
Not the kids nowadays.
I know. Dude, it's crazy. I was a professor for undergrads, and I did the math, and my oldest son was actually closer in age to the undergrads than I was to the undergrads. And I was like, oh my God. Wow, I felt so old. Felt so old.
No, that's funny.
Dude, so what's up?
Go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised these naturopaths keep coming in here. Like, I don't understand what they think that's going to happen. I think that it's just it's confirming my hypothesis that so many of them are coddled, that they can come into like a scientist stream and they can talk their nonsense and they don't expect any pushback.
Well, I mean, they definitely have some good rebuttal. And here's the thing, though. It's all about planting seeds as well.
It is with them. I agree.
So
yeah.
Well, I have a question. So
okay.
What information has anyone provided as an alternative that you would not align with, that you have physically looked up since you've had your lives?
I look up everything. I mean, are you in the Discord? Like, genuinely, I all my show notes is all I do everything. So like last show notes I did 15 different links. So we looked up 15 different pieces of information, and I went around and we're like looking through it. I don't know. I'm not that smart. Genuinely, I'm not that smart. I have to look things up, and I have to like try to figure out what's going on, and like I have to, it's not about like what I have in my brain. It's about like how I use my knowledge. I feel like so. I love to look things up. I love to be wrong.
Are you?
I do think.
I hope you're not mocking me, but.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about myself. Like I'm below average intelligence. I think, like genuinely, I'm not. Like I'm telling you, like I really am.
I think everyone has their own strength in their own way, and no matter what they bring to the table, right? Like we're just talking about science, but there's so many people out there who have their strengths in whatever their specialty is.
Sure. Well, I do think that like the talking to Jorge, talking to him about the quantum. The channeling that happens with the proteins and the electron transport chain and the photosynthetic stuff, like that is interesting. Like I genuinely think that is cool. But the difference, you have to understand the difference and why that is like something that's more interesting to me than like I cured my liver disease by drinking a tincture. You know what I mean? Like there is like one of them has a mechanism of action. We can understand it. There's things that we can understand. The other thing is just like there's no studies. There's no reproducibility. There's nothing going on.
So I think that if you look at everything, no matter what it's about, it's all about particles. So if there's quantum tunneling in science, right? In the aspects of life, then there's quantum tunneling in everything, no matter if it's the resonance of an herb or the resonance of a pharmaceutical, if it's in cells, everything is physically made up of particles. So you can't. I understand in science they try to individualize, but it's all interconnected.
I do think, okay, I do understand what you're talking about, and the fact that, like, we're electrons and there's electron clouds and they're all like rotating and stuff like that. But it hasn't been, but with the leaps that are happening between what you're saying and an actual study that's been reproduced, it just hasn't been there. It hasn't been there.
So, no, I agree with you on that. I don't think that they look into nature enough. I think that they have their own agenda.
No, stop. That isn't how it works, though.
It is how you tell me the studies they've done on nature.
But that is what biology is, the study of life. That is what it is.
Herbs? So you've studied herbs and their potential.
Yeah, herbs have all been studied. Yeah, but that's where Tylenol came from. That's like herbs. I'm a plant biologist. That's what I am. I study algae. That's what I got my PhD on. Like, I love plants. Like, if there is something that was like super incredible about them, that had some like weird protein or something, like, I would love to know that. I'm all for that.
So then what did they find in herbs that would work as far as resonance levels?
For resonance levels, I don't know in terms of that, but they have proteins and stuff that they make that were kind of like interesting and all that stuff. Like that. I mean, that's where there are drugs and stuff like that exist that have medicinal properties. That's fine. But the problem is using those plants as a medicine and then doing a independent study to verify that it's that plant that is actually causing that. And that's the problem with it that you guys have. You don't have it.
Money. No, because there's no money in it. So they'll take a plant and they'll recreate the resonance of it.
Why?
Right? And so their outcome is patented, and they use that for their medicine, which is what a drug is.
Is your herb shop for profit?
Yeah, oh yeah. The herb shop is, 100%. What does that mean? You
don't think you can't make that dot. Okay, you can't make that connection. Like, you really want me to like lay it out for you? Like, the fact that the pharmaceutical companies making money impugns the entire medical field and everything that they hold, and your shop being for profit, you can't make that, like, that you as a provider of these herbs, also saying that they have some medicinal factories. You are the provider and the person that's going to make the most profit off of it. So you're actually even more corrupt than the pharmaceutical companies and the physicians. You're way more corrupt.
So first of all, I'm not corrupt. I'm not doing this for control. There's a trade.
I think that you are a good person. I think that you are a good person, but the problem is that you got led down a path where now you are pushing this. And genuinely, I do think that there is another world where your brother doesn't die, or maybe you didn't go past that red light clinic and stuff, and you saw that, and you became a nurse, and you dedicated your life in order to actually helping people, and you went to nursing school, and you're an RN and you're doing things to actually benefit people. Because when I talk to you, I don't see any malice in you. That is why I think that you keep coming back, and I do genuinely enjoy talking to you, because I don't think that you have evil intent. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, thank you for that. I agree with you. I know where my heart is. So I don't, thank you for saying that, although I do know where I stand, so I definitely don't need some justification for it for those who are not aligned with my beliefs. But here's the thing, there's two things, right? There's nature and then there's science. So y'all are always studying nature to define your science and how it works, and you're always trying to figure out the better way. So everything that I use and that I work with is a part of science. I mean, everything that I'm aligned with is what's up and coming.
I know, but wouldn't a pharmaceutical company say the same thing? everything that I
Well,
do aligns with science, and everything that I have has been entrusted by science.
no, absolutely. Yeah,
Exactly,
you would love to
exactly,
say so.
exactly.
But then
So
there's
you're
two.
impugning the pharmaceutical company, and you're saying that they're for profit. The thing is makes them lambast them, while you are saying the exact same thing, and
Well, I
you
should
are.
have been more.
And,
I should have been more
but the
specific. It's not
difference
just for
is the
profit
biggest
control.
difference is that the pharmaceutical company actually has studies that they've paid for and that they have, versus you have no studies in order to push a lot of your stuff.
But that's the thing, though. Within nature, I don't have to have studies.
No, you do, Light. You do. That's
No,
how
I
we
don't.
know. Yes. No.
That's just y'all's. That's just y'all's understanding from the
No.
belief that
No.
you've been sold.
Science and studies is how we reproduce results, and we know and better
You can
understand
see
the
the
world.
outcome. You can see the outcome of what we do in our science and the way we define our science, right? So if I have to use your terminology, there's an outcome, and it's repeatable, and it's duplicatable, and you can see where it goes.
And if that exists, then that's what a study is, and you show that, and it's done. That is what happens.
But I don't have to use your science to do that. That would be like
That's
saying
no, that
in
is the
Bible, no
process
one-
of the scientific method. That the studies and reproducible and that is science.
Absolutely.
Huh?
No, I get it. It's in your science. Absolutely.
It's not my science. It's the human races,
Well,
the human species
what I meant.
science.
You know what I meant by that.
I know, but I'm just saying that it's like that. It should be your science too.
So I just don't understand. I don't understand the disconnect. Like I don't even understand. Like you don't understand. Like there's everything is so important. Like what you wear, what you smell, what you're around, the music you listen to. Everything is so important. And you guys have like you can't put any of it together, and you've negated all of it. And because you don't understand on a very fundamental level. Like a lot of people. Okay, so for instance, if you want to define it as gravity, right? It's so fundamentally important, but people negate it as like the weakest force. And that same thing in character. Like people, if I don't come up here and yell at you and degrade you, they see me as weak, right? Because I'm me.
Yeah.
And if you attack somebody and go at them, they see it as strength, right? But really, the one who's silent, who's able to self-control and not get into, the degrading aspect, is really the one with the more wisdom. So what I'm saying is there's such a weak force here, and that is all about the quantum reactions between photons and all this electrostatics that we're talking about. It's so drastically important, and it's the fundamentals of everything.
How do you know that the electrons and the quantum level stuff exists?
It has to. That's the only thing they can explain it as.
But how do you prove that they exist?
Well, your science has.
Exactly, Light.
Well,
My God, we did it.
Okay,
Exactly.
hold on,
So exactly.
hold on.
So the
I use
scientific
that 'cause
process and
I
the
use
stuff
that term.
that you are relying on to find and realize that the science behind the quantum level, okay, we can use that same scientific process to better understand the world in terms of medicine, and we're actually using the same ideas. There isn't any type of what's the money in figuring out what the quantum world is or anything like that. Like the perverse monetary incentive to keep the quantum world under wraps. There could be, the conspiracy could be that would be what it was, but it's not, because we have a study, we have stuff to actually show that this is what's actually happening, and we have studies in science in order to show that.
Well, here's what I'll say. I fully understand what you're saying, but that doesn't mean I don't agree. But here's what I'll say. I used science because that's what you would have accepted. If I would have said that I know that it's in my nature, I can see it. I know they've even tested the resonant frequencies of certain herbs and what their electric capability is.
But how do you know that stuff exists? How do you know electric frequencies exist? Prove to me what a frequency is. What is that?
Because I know what God's word is. But see, that's what I'm saying. If I use anything spiritual, you're going to go, that's woo-woo. So I have to use your terminology for you to accept it.
I know. It's exactly. So in this, exactly. So and I agree. And I think that is the actual, what you're actually saying. What you're saying is, what you mean to say is that it's on faith, and you don't actually accept science, and you want to just
No, I accept
believe
science
it because you just said that you're just using science and you don't believe in science. What you believe in is your supernatural thing, which is fine. You know, you can say that, and you should say that instead of saying science. Okay?
Well, but then again, if I use my terminology,
You should
and if you
use
want
your
to call it
terminology
faith,
because
then-
that's what you actually believe. Don't use science when you don't believe in the scientific method.
Well, no, I never said I didn't believe in it.
You don't.
You guys are
You
allowing
don't.
us to understand it on another level.
No, you don't understand science. Like, come on. You
No,
don't,
I understand it. I just don't
science,
agree with it. And I don't use it in a way you guys use it.
Come on. You don't accept the scientific method on flat Earth, young Earth creationism, evolution, dinosaurs, climate change, vaccine safety. Like, every single consensus issue that scientists hold right now, you hold the opposite belief right now. And so, for you to say that you actually appreciate and like science, that's obviously not true, right? You obviously believe.
I can appreciate things that I don't agree with.
No, because science is a method of knowledge acquisition and better understanding the world. So if you don't believe and accept any of the things of knowledge that has been acquired in the world based off the scientific method, the scientific method means nothing to you, and so therefore you don't agree with science, and that's fine. You can say that. Just say that.
That's not true. We have our own way of, if you want to call it methodology, we have our own way of methods that we use in our nature, of our naturopaths. Like if what we use didn't work, they wouldn't be using it, especially coming into quantum.
There isn't any studies to
Yeah, there's a lot of studies on this.
No, there's
even
not.
the nucleotides and neuromodulations off of looking at the quantum stats of it. I don't understand. And there's a lot, like I was even looking at it at Stanford University. I was watching one of their YouTubes yesterday about how they're even taking all this quantum stuff into quantum materials and everything else. Like, all I'm saying is that I do understand what quantum is, guys, by the way. It's you guys, you can't connect the two, and that's what's hard about it.
Why do you think, like, where in the Bible is quantum?
Ooh, that's a good one. So in the very beginning, there was water without form and void, and he said, "Let there be light." So his physical intention, which they cannot create, listen to this. This is really cool. There's called you went into quantum tunneling, right? Where there's the dipole, which is the ones and zeros, and then horizontally, it's all the Fibonacci code, right?
Okay.
There's an instruction and a design for everything. Now I can actually go into Hebrew language, what actually means what. I can tell you like the hexagonal structures and how that takes form. But anyways, the point is there's an instruction and a design for everything, and they cannot explain it to this day. All your quantum physicists are like baffled about this because they said there's no way we can explain at any level what this intention of this consciousness is. It's just there.
Then why doesn't, like, it's just...
And that's really cool because you can go and see that exactly what they're doing and how everything formulates with electromagnetism, and with the help of water, all the electrons are attracted to hydrogen and oxygen, and it creates all your tunneling effect and all your dipoles. It literally creates your vortex mechanics, and it's really cool because in the Bible, all of these things that we use in nature, it talks about it. In fact, even Jacob's water trough, when he's changing the DNA structure of the animals, right? He's using herbs, but now you've redefined them as drugs. And what does that do to the body of water that you have?
Okay.
It creates the different resonance.
Like,
So you're changing DNA. Hold on, I'm just going to finish this. You're changing DNA with drugs, or whatever mechanism you want to see fit, CRISPR or whatever, and it's already been explained in the Bible. Jacob did it in his water trough.
Okay. All right. I really want you to think about how the perverse profit incentive and the pharmaceutical companies that you bemoan, and how you run a for-profit company, and it's not a nonprofit. It's not like your business structure and how your profit, the amount of profit that you make Just think about that, okay? So, and we're going to compare. If you will, I'd love to compare your profit margin versus the pharmaceutical companies. By the way, I would love to if you had that data.
I'm going to redefine it. It's not my main job. We drill water wells for a living. I told you that. So what I'm just saying is that's not what I mean, I just do it because it's my medicine cabinet and I offer it to the community. I don't have an herb store.
Oh my God.
I have a store and it has herbs in it. We do other things.
Is that what you call it?
Right?
Is that the actual?
No, I'm just using that term. It's just, I don't.
You can't just use that term though. It's not medicine, dude. What are you doing?
Listen really fast. What I'm saying is that we know that billionaires are for what? It's not even for profit. They don't care about money. Money's just a tool. They care about control. That's what it is. We know that there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this world, and if you understood even weather warfare and how they even cloud seed and do all of that, and how they use DARPA and elf waves and everything, that's all electromagnetism. It's all the same thing. In fact, if you even cared about global warming, you'll look into that.
Okay. All right.
I'll let you go. You're good. I just wanted to let you know I'm physically married. In fact, my husband just tried calling in a second ago while I'm on the live. So
I was just joking. Because that other guy was just.
There's a lot of people who comment on it. So I just figured I'd clear the air.
Sorry, that's totally fine. I was just joking. What was your thoughts on the guy like before with that other guy, that guy last night?
Which one? Oh, sorry, it's been a long day. So what was he talking about again? Yeah,
he thought that it was just like it was the same stuff that you think. He was like, he didn't believe in germ theory. He didn't have an opinion on the shape of the earth because we were all in a simulation. He used a juice cleanse in order to heal his liver disease.
No, I agree with all of that. I agree with everything. The one thing I will say, though, is that here's the thing. A lot of these guys who believe in natural path, like if you want to call it holistic stuff, a lot of them don't believe in flat earth too. And I don't. And I'll just say this. In all honesty, I don't think it's really fair to put all of that into a box, because that would be like us asking you guys what all you believe and putting you into a box. I think
you can. That's the whole point. I mean, no. It is because, and what it is, and it does instantly discredit your scientific opinions, and that's why you guys are sheepish about it.
Well, that's not fair.
Yeah, well, of course. It's not my fault that you hold those beliefs. I mean, what is that? And you know what? You are shame. You feel some shame in regards to holding that. Well, you do not, Light. You do not feel shame. That is definitely for sure.
I know what I know. And even like when someone says she believes the earth is flat, I don't believe the earth is flat. Let me clarify something. I know the earth is flat. There is science out there that debunks all of the bullshit.
It's not science. It's not science. It's not. You can't say that.
No, we even have mathematical equations that debunk gravity, and it's actually electron spins. So let me tell you this. I've even taken this to professors. I'm not kidding you. We know this shit.
There's
a lot of physicists even at Texas A&M that even work with all of this stuff, and when they even go to their conferences with these, I think there was. I don't know what she used. There's a physicist. She's a bioengineer and she's a physicist. She's a good friend of mine, and she's actually one of the thousands. They only chose 1,000 scientists to work on the new the nuclear power plant coming up in Texas. But anyway, she's one of the 1,000 doing that. But here's the thing. She physically told me that I think it's called Nobelariat. Is that what Nobelariat? Does that make sense?
No, Nobelariat? I have no idea.
Well, I guess I asked her what that meant. She just said people who had Nobel Prizes. So I guess they go to like conferences and stuff. And there was 4 there. And she said that she gave me her mathematical equations. And she said she physically stood up and asked them about the physical equations, and they just started laughing and completely went to the next question.
Yeah, they did. Wasn't that? You don't think so? That's not a bad. That's not a good sign, dude.
No, what the thing is what she's saying is even in her studies, there's a lot of things that they know that have been used like declassified. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. This is really where it gets cool. Her grandfather, listen really fast. Her grandfather has 7 security guards with him at all times. He lives in a different state. He was a nuclear physicist for the government, and she can't even talk to him because they physically monitor what they even speak about. But here's the thing: she will tell me that there's a lot of things that are completely declassified that they will not align with or allow out to the community and the public. So if you think that this is crazy stuff, you just get in the game, dude.
Dude, you realize how big the conspiracy needs to be in order for flat Earth to be real? Like, do you have any
really
idea?
Simple. It's really simple. It's not even about flat Earth. Like, flat Earth is just something to remove the ability for us to have true knowledge about what's going on in our world.
Light.
So there's a big conspiracy, but it's kind of simple.
Okay, I'm all ears. Here we go.
Really? You want me? Okay. So this is a spiritual battle. Have you ever looked up, I'll say it really quickly. Have you ever looked up the people who have basically constructed the universities within our country?
Oh my God, you're going to do like some Rockefeller thing? It's like some Rockefeller...
I mean, it's them, the Collins, all of them, yeah. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, have you ever looked up what their beliefs are?
They're probably all globalists.
Well, what are their beliefs? Actually, well, I'll keep that for another night. What are their beliefs?
Oh my gosh, are you doing it? Is this an anti-Semitic thing, Light?
No, it's anti-Semitism. No, that's about Jews.
yes.
No, Semitism.
Nothing gets past you. You're right.
Yeah, Semitism is about Jews, right? And if you want to go to that path, there's a difference in Pharisees and Sadducees. Pharisees are the mysticals. They believe in the Anunnaki. They believe in fallen angels, or what you would call UFOs, and they get knowledge from them. They have warlocks and wizards and all kinds of things within their realms that they align with to get information. That's the whole fight of Antarctica, and this goes really deep. So what I'm saying to you is, how do you think they get their knowledge? This is a spiritual battle. It's against the Anunnaki and the fallen angels and God. And in fact, let me give you one quote.
This is the simple explanation for why flat Earth is real, guys. Are you serious?
No, but let me just end it with this. Even Chase Morgan said the difference between millionaires and billionaires is billionaires actually have astrologers, which means they work with the energy pathways of the world. And you have no clue that your economic system is an actual trait of your energy, and they use energy and ley lines and nodes to construct all this stuff. And you have no clue how your America was even built, sir. So when I say that I kind of talk to you on like a low mundane level, I'm not saying that I know more than you. I'm just saying, like, this stuff goes really deep. And if you knew what true knowledge was, and if you start continuing down the path of quantum mechanics, you'll start understanding this stuff. You'll connect the dots. That's where this stuff goes. Do you think people just become flat earthers overnight? No, it's because they looked into this stuff.
Oh no, you've been indoctrinated with this propaganda for like decades,
I haven't been
probably.
Indoctrinated with anything. But
Butterfly, thank you. Thank
really
you.
fast. Who would have indoctrinated me?
Dude, I don't know. Do your parents believe in this stuff?
No, my parents don't believe in this. And I already told you that my dad is the head nurse at the VA hospital. Wow. And here's another thing. My dad won't even use half the doctors at the VA hospital because of what they know or don't know. Even for surgeries, he has to figure out who to even use because the doctors are just full of themselves and they don't have true knowledge. He's watched them mess up on so many patients.
How? Okay. Oh my gosh, Light.
All I'm saying is no system is perfect.
Oh, Light.
That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of quackery in either in science or in naturopathic, right?
What kind of evidence would you want to see in order to believe that the Earth is round in a globe? Like what evidence would you accept?
We can't even pinpoint curvature. Have you ever seen the science for curvature?
Yeah, it's like remarkably simple.
Well, then why can't we find it?
What? There's pictures of the Earth. Like we know exactly.
You have pictures of the Earth. Have you ever looked into those pictures of the Earth?
So okay.
Have you ever looked into that?
Okay. So if we brought you onto if we brought you onto one of those planes, and then we brought you up to the top, the where they like the 0G ones, where you can actually see like the out and into space and in the curvature of the Earth, would you accept it then?
Well, it depends.
How much is it? I'm not even kidding. 0G flight cost? I'm not even kidding. I want to pay.
Yeah, because even flying
$8,000. Okay, a little out of my price range right now.
Where do you see the curvature? Where do you see the curvature even going in an airplane?
Guys, listen to me. We're gonna have a fundraiser later next year. We're gonna put Light is Life up into space, guys. We're gonna do it.
You don't even have to do that. Just go into a plane. Where do you see curvature in a plane? Because as far as I can see, it's miles and miles and miles.
Okay, so okay, so when you go into a plane and you go up and you see, you think that the Earth is flat still?
Do you see curvature anywhere?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, you start to see it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You start to see it, or you see the horizon?
Or do you think that we're in a simulation?
When someone says that, all they're saying is that we're mathematical equations, and it's the math based off of what?
The quantum folded light.
That's it. They say matrix because what your science has gone into is defined everything by mathematical equations. So that's what they're just saying. It's the outcome of the math. That's all they're saying. So even the Matrix, the movie The Matrix, it's all that they're talking about. They're measuring electromagnetism off of math.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I guess I just got more crazier for you. Sorry.
No, I've always known that you're a flat earther. I know that you do a young Earth creation.
Yeah, and I don't deny it at all.
Yeah, I know. I know
how a toroidal field works. I know how the flat plane works. I know how. I mean, your science says it. They just don't come out and say it.
Oh, I think we're gonna add that to the simulator. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I remember. I think you do think that like Noah and stuff were like 900 years old, right?
Yeah, the oxygen levels were completely different.
And the dinosaur bones, like why are they there?
Have they ever found a full skeleton of a dinosaur bone? Do you even know how they're even made up?
Light.
Have you even studied it?
Light.
No, I'm asking you.
Stop.
Have they found a full skeleton
You're
of it?
embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me in front of my new friends, Light. You're embarrassing me. Yes, they have. Yes. Why would that even be the thing that you use? Like, you don't think that...
If anyone says
no,
yes,
guys, she's 100% real, guys. I don't know how she found my stream.
I've looked into this.
I don't know.
Someone shared it, and I don't know if I should ever reveal his name, but he's definitely, even from his comments, he's definitely not in line with my beliefs. But he did share. He was in a Flat Earth live one night, listening in, and he shared the live with me. So I was talking about red light and a few other things. And I'll say this, red light is just the oscillator, by the way. You have to have the constituents in your body to have an oscillation. So red light is just an activator. That's all it is. So I don't just use red light. I just use it as a tool.
I mean, cool. I mean, everyone knows it's just the activator. Everyone knows that. I mean, that's just, you know.
They have a lot of flat earth lives, by the way, like a lot.
I know. Apparently, it's really popping. It's really popping.
But there's a lot. You know how I even get better with my terminology? Because the quantum physicists and physicists themselves and all these other guys of science love going in there talking to us. And in fact, it's even gone to the effect where some of them come in and will tell us that their professors give them extra credit for coming in and trying to debunk us. No shit.
This is the problem. But don't you see, like, this is the problem I genuinely feel like, and this is why scientists, like, they actually don't support what I'm doing. Like, my scientist friends, like, don't like that I'm here just because of that. Because they're like, you're actually giving them a platform, because it's like putting us on that same level. And it's showing that we're all coming at it with the same,
so then don't ask the question, because I never brought up flat earth. Someone else did. So just don't ask the question. And that way you don't. Well, and I'm just giving you, like, if that's the way it's going and you definitely don't want it to go that route. I mean, it is your house, right? So I just wouldn't ask the question. I would just keep it on a science level. And if your goal is to not seek truth, but really just, hate on everybody and just keep it
you don't understand. You're not understanding, again, because you think that science is just an opinion and that you're just giving your opinion. But that's the whole point. Like, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
Science changes within itself.
Yeah.
Your science it gets redefined ever so often, right? If something new comes out, so I think everyone should be entitled to an opinion.
Everyone can. That's not an opinion, but science isn't an opinion. That's the whole point.
Well, it's an opinion. Okay, it is a demonstrable and repeatable outcome of what they have done, right?
Okay.
Okay. Well, but until that gets demonstrated in a different way, where someone else's opinion goes, aha, there's a different moment where I can actually see something different. So I'm going to test it, make sure it's repeatable, duplicatable, and then I'll have a different definition. But it all starts out with a mere thought or an opinion, right? Like, isn't, which one had the apple fall on his head and go, oh, there must be something to gravity?
I don't know if that was. I don't think that actually happened, but.
Well, you get what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that out there. It's just the point that, like, it all starts out with a mere thought, right? Or an understanding of like, let's say in your industry, you get to the point where you understand something even more. You're going to have another aha moment going, you know what? I wonder if this really works.
But that's the whole point.
Start testing it out.
But that's the whole point that, I lost my train of thought. I can't believe it. Oh, lights. I don't know what to do. No, like, how do you know, like, how do you know something, how do you know that we are in a simulation? So I guess that was something that you don't agree with, or viruses, and some people in their folded light kind of like photo world, like
all I'm saying is that everything starts with electromagnetism.
I know,
right?
but like, how, if you don't believe in studies and you don't believe in the scientific method, then like, how do you understand and actually know what is too far? Like, what, like, can you okay, oh, this is a good question. What is the last major opinion that you have that you changed your mind on?
Like, from my understanding, went a completely different direction.
Yeah. What was the last thing you completely changed your mind on? Like a big topic, like a big thing. I can go if you want me to go.
Well, I'll just be honest with you. I don't need more time. I honestly don't. I mean, well, as far as how electrons and protons work, a couple months ago. But as far as like this major thing, not anything major where it's like, oh, now all of a sudden I believe in flat Earth or gravity. It hasn't been recent. I mean, I've known about flat Earth before I even got on TikTok for over, I don't know, 8 to 9 years ago.
Who told you about flat Earth?
I was on a YouTube listening to listen really fast. This is where it started. I didn't say that I was on it. I don't listen to radio or music or any of that crap. I just listen in to podcasts. And I was on a podcast listening to something completely different. And the YouTube thing came on about flight paths. And I was like, this is so dumb. This is ridiculous. But I was in a zone and I didn't want to get off the ladder. So I continued to listen to it. And I'm like, I've never heard of this before. So I went down a whole rabbit hole for a couple of years, didn't understand a lot. I mean, I understood it to an extent, but I didn't pair it together until a few other pathways came together. And that's the thing, though. When I was learning about history, we all have our different things. Like we learn about history. We have a lot of irons in the fire, and sometimes not one of them will get hot. They're just kind of, warm. But everything's always connected. So learning about biblical stuff, history, it was the same time I was trying to understand Jacob's water trough. When I started understanding energy, then it was like, holy shit, this is a whole different level. And it's only been 6 months before I've put all of this together.
Don't you think it's a little odd to never have majorly changed your opinion on something? Isn't that weird? Because genuinely, I feel like I've actually I'm like a new person like every year. Like since I'm 18, I feel like I'm constantly kind of like refiguring out what I'm doing, who I am, like learning about things, like reassessing things, and part of that is trying to understand the world better. And there are things that like I've had to look inward and try to understand myself better and where my beliefs came from. Like, for example, like climate change.
Well, I do that. I self-reflect. I thought you were talking about like a major topic or something, like a belief.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but part of that process is like, for example, so I thought that humans, I grew up loving biology and life and everything like that. And I got basically sucked into that Penn and Teller BS show, and they had an episode on climate change, and they were saying how it's all BS and yada, yada, yada. And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh, maybe like that is kind of silly that humans are so arrogant that they think that they could change the world forever, kind of thing, and that the world is kind of going to go on forever without us. And I thought that the humans like basically couldn't like really impact the environment that much. And then I held that belief when I was like in like middle years of high school. But then once I went to community college, I started thinking about like, why did I hold that belief? Like, why am I holding this thing that's in my brain? And I changed my mind when I started reading the actual literature about it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like I got so wrapped up in this, and I just believed someone's opinion as opposed to researching it for myself. It was a real changing point in my life where like I'm going to actually try to research things like from the primary original documents instead of just believing someone's opinion that told me it. So like I've changed my mind on like some big issues. Like so that's just, isn't that weird that you haven't changed your mind on any of these like big political or like societal or scientific issues?
Well, when you understand that there is you can call it a conspiracy, all right, because they are conspiring. When you understand the game, all you're looking for now is like which next move they're going to make and trying to understand that. So here's my point. There's not, I mean, I change my mind about stuff all the time, right? Like, and I am educated on many things, but I will give you this. I have been so preoccupied the last 2 or 3 years with stuff going on in my life, with business and personal stuff.
You're making so much money. You're making so much money selling those herb shops, huh?
It's not even profitable, sir. It's just
then run it as a nonprofit.
Like, well, I've looked into doing one of those, and right now it's not. I'm preoccupied. But let's just say this: at the end of the day, I haven't looked into a lot of other things other than like right now. I'm physically at work right now. I'm listening, and I didn't get home until 8 o'clock in the morning. I have a lot to do this next week for some deadlines that I have for work, and I take the time to take a break to come out and talk to you guys while I listen in. But I really am preoccupied. So if I get a chance in the next, when this is over the next 6 months or so to kind of deep dive on some other subjects, I will. So, but listen, I'm not as stuck in my ways as you would believe. It's only because I understand, and everything that you guys bring to me as far as science, it just, from my understanding, it just confirms it.
Yeah,
so,
but like,
if I would like to say that I'm not so disingenuous that if you brought me something genuine that would completely change it or alter it, that I wouldn't change my view.
Okay, so what would the, okay, so I'm a biologist, so so what evidence of evolution would you need to see that I could show you that would change your mind on evolution?
So on evolution in itself, I do understand that we evolve, right? Like we're even evolving by the GMO foods that we even consume. Like, that completely retunes our entire body.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, then you do this. Then show me or give me any kind of paperwork that you have that I'll read up on, and we'll start there.
For what? The existence of evolution, or?
Yeah, anything you want to send me as far as biology, as far as GMO not affecting your body, as far as evolution, whichever one you want to use, send me stuff on it. And I'll look it up and I'll give you my genuine opinion about it.
I mean, I do it. I do that stuff. That is what I've done as a scientist. I genetically modify organisms for a living. That is, as a molecular biologist, I take and edit genomes and take things out and
so
in.
If you
and
edit genomes, that's you understand that's completely changing the way it resonates. What you would call, like, remember we were talking about the quantum tunneling of the Fibonacci code? It's all mathematics. It changes the outcome.
Yeah, but that's not speciation.
Work on your body.
Right? That's not speciation. That's different.
Okay, so then send me what you want on evolution.
I do evolution. I do it. I mean, I'm telling you that I can talk to you about how I've used evolution. I use it.
But talking to me about it and giving me something that's provable, right? If you have a provable science study on it That's completely different. Because listen, my complete belief system is based on the outcomes and literally the word that I get from God. I mean, I even know when he's talking to me. So I have this deep relationship with him, and I'm sorry you don't know what his word sounds like or his breath.
What's it sound like? What does the breath sound? What does the breath sound like?
I'm going to tell you this. When you know he's talking to you, if you even heard the story of my life, but when you know he's talking to you, you can even break down in tears. Like that relationship is something that I can't explain to you. It'd be like you trying to explain to me your relationship with you and your wife, and on an intimate level, I wouldn't understand it, right? And
I can tell you about it.
Right. My husband is the most amazing man ever. Like, I deeply love him, but I can't explain that to somebody. They'll just get the gist of it. Until you're physically in that relationship with him, you would not understand what I'm talking about.
Well,
and I'm sorry you've missed out on that. And that's totally cool. Like, your journey is your responsibility of your own.
You realize that I grew up Christian, right? I mean, it wasn't like I tried. I literally, it was so crazy. Like, I literally tried. This is actually one of the chinks in the armor that made me an atheist. I was like 12 years old, and we were doing the Sunday Bible study, and they're like, "Hey, stay later if anyone wants to accept Jesus into their lives." And I was like, well, I haven't done this. Like, all right, let's see. I haven't seen Jesus before. I haven't felt God before or anything. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And it's just something that he just said because he was not expecting me to actually stay there. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, let's see it. Let's do it. So, and then all of a sudden, like I'm expecting something, like to feel something, like there is like literally like a light, or there was like some feeling of like, woo, or anything. He literally just put his hand on my shoulder and was just like, yada, yada, said a prayer, and then let Jesus come into Greg's life. Amen. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's it. And he was like, yeah, there it is. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I just walked out, and I was like, damn, dude, that was very bad. That was very lackluster. So I tried.
You think that having a relationship with God is someone who's going to put their hands on you and you accept it from whatever miraculous thing was going to happen? You don't understand that it's you seeking him?
I did seek him through the pastor. That was the whole point.
Well, that's the problem, is that these people, in fact, the best thing that ever happened to me was removing the filter.
Oh my God. So you're anti-organized religion?
No, not necessarily. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that at the end of the day, when we put that relationship and we start learning, it would be like it'd be like you learning about your wife through a friend. Right? Uh-huh. You only know who she is, you know how she talks, you know her demeanor, you know all these things through your friend. But then when you meet her and you get to know her and you remove your friend out of the equation, it's a completely different level. A lot of people don't go to that extent. And it also takes time to get to know somebody, like your wife. I'm sure y'all dated for a while, or however the situation was. You got to know each other before you even moved to that relationship of, okay, I want you in my life. So all I'm saying is that it's very real, and that's not something you can explain to somebody. When someone's like, "Well, explain God to me," you can't. There's no way of doing that.
I tried, and
that's
the thing is, and that's the biggest thing.
Talk you into anything.
I mean, that's the thing, and you really can't explain how. Like, can we do a thought experiment right now? Like, no matter where you are, I don't know where you are, but let just like imagine, like close your eyes, okay, and now just imagine, just do a thought experiment that God isn't real, okay? Now open them and tell me what you see that's different about the world.
That would be so awful.
What do you see? What do you see that's different?
There would be a lot of unanswered questions
that we need to solve through science. Exactly. Yes, that's the whole thing. It's actually an incredible feeling, because you don't feel that you're tied down to this Bible and this God that's controlling everything, and now you're actually trying to understand the world. That was really insightful. Like, genuinely, that was a very good answer.
What I'm saying is that, like, Do you know what it's like to go through your daily routine and understand that this world is being destroyed by us? And you physically, when you look at nature almost every single morning and you have to apologize to them knowing that there's a lot of people in this world who don't fully understand the true story, and you have to physically apologize to them on a level that people don't understand, and you see how awful people are, the meanness in their heart. You even in comments, there's so many awful people out there who are hateful, who don't listen, and they're so worried about. Listen, what I'm saying is that I wouldn't even like. How do you go through life not knowing that there is? Hold on, let me get myself together.
No, it's okay. There is.
What I'm saying, I can pull myself together. You're good. What I'm saying is that how do you go through your life? Like, I guess I just know him, so I can't ever leave that. But because I know him too well now. If you would ask me that question 10 years ago, possibly I could have left the faith, possibly, but not now. It's too far. My relationship's too strong with him. But here's what I'll say to you: how do you go through life not knowing where you're going to end up or having something to believe in?
Yeah, I mean, it is sad. It is sad that we're all going to die, and that this time that we have is finite. And that is part of the reason why the toxicity and the evil and the people that are malice and really trying to hurt other people, that is so cruel that they're actually happening, that they are that way. And it really makes me frustrated, and it also makes me more of a positive person, because I do know that I can have a huge, profound impact on someone's day and maybe even life by being like a more positive influence on them. So that is something that informs like who I am as a person. And you're right though. Like when I became an atheist, and I actually wasn't just like an agnostic, like, oh, maybe there is a God or there isn't. When I really started thinking like, okay, there just isn't a God. Like it is a huge change. It's a huge change where it's another big profound moment in my life where you do have like this unshackling period where now you don't have this method that can just easily explain away things. Now you really have to explain to yourself why you are a bad person, how to be a better person. You don't have to look for a book for these morals and all that kind of stuff. You really have to think things through yourself. It's one of the most scary things, by the way, when you're an atheist, is when people tell you, oh, well, you're an atheist, so why don't you just go around killing everyone since you don't obey the 10 Commandments? And it's like, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy that people need the 10 Commandments in order to know not to kill each other. Like, that is wild. That's so scary.
Well, first of all, our beliefs and values are built on that book anyways, right? The more we get away from that book.
No, that's not true.
Well, that's.
No.
And you're entitled to that opinion, but here's what I'm saying.
Because
the more we get away from.
It's important for you to realize that, like, that those are universal values, because those are values that have evolved over time. If you had a population of organisms and you had like a murder gene, okay, where one of them wants to kill one another more often, well, guess what? That fitness of that population of those organisms is going to go down, because they're going to be taking each other out all the time. So you actually breed into, through genetics, compassion, looking out for one another. And that's why religion has been proven through evolution to be existent in humans. That there's been computer simulations of religion that show that once you introduce religion, it actually makes the population the fitness grows greater.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think that religion, just like a lot of other things, have been weaponized. I mean, if even, there's a lot of hate in that too. Like you can use any one of them, and there's hate in any one of them. So all I'm going to tell you is that I know what my relationship is with him, so I can't ever go against that. So I only because I know it's confirmed. Like I would never be.
How did you grow up religious? I'm assuming, yeah.
I did, but you know what? What really got me into that? I had a really bad childhood, and I will say this: has no one ever experienced a negative entity in their entire life? Because until I was probably about 17, I saw negative entities.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
And if you ever look at anyone who has near-death experiences or NDEs, like they talk about this stuff widely. Like the spirit realm is a really, like there's even a lot of people talking it on TikTok about how they physically can go into different realms after they change their brain state, right? And schizophrenia, that's funny. It has a lot to do with the brain, right? And what realms you're seeing. But here's what I'm saying though, people who know about the spirit realm know that there's stuff there that's real that you can't explain.
No, none of that exists. None of that exists. The spirit realm doesn't exist.
You don't think the spirit realm exists, so you don't think negative entities exist?
No, that isn't right. Like, no, they don't exist.
Well, I just told you my reality. I physically saw them.
I know, and people manifest a lot of things. Yes.
Well, you're talking about multiple people in same rooms. I mean, you're talking about a lot of different scenarios that would not have just happened with me. And let me also say this. I was raised in such a bad childhood that my brother spent a lot of time in prison. And he said, if you ever want to meet the face of God, you go to a prison because there's so much negative entities in there that it's abundant. And that's actually where he strengthened his relationship with God, was in prison. So here's what I'll tell you. You guys may think that it's not real, but start deep diving into it and you'll understand very clearly that it's not just a game. I know this became really serious. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
We can lighten it back up.
I do feel really
again.
bad, like what you've gone through, like, and there's been some really tough, like traumatic, like things that you've gone through in your life, and I respect that. And it is sad. Like I really feel for you.
I wish it strengthened me. So yeah, there's no pity here. It strengthened me.
I know, I think that we lost out. Okay, I think we lost out in the world on that version of you, that instead of throwing yourself into religion and into these alternative medicines and stuff, I do think that there is an alternative reality world where light goes into science, and you're a nurse and you're looking out for one another and you care about people through medicine, and you're doing stuff like that. Like, and that's what I mourn, like genuinely. Not I think that you are fine like now, and talking to you, I believe you, but I'm telling you that the world missed out on that version of you, and that makes me really sad.
Well, and if that's the case, then too bad I wasn't more. Too bad I'm not more, in your opinion, than what I could have been, and that's genuine.
Yeah.
But I am responsible for my own journey, and this is the journey I'm on. And until until I find another way, I mean, it's really solidified. So someone's gonna have to, really send me some good stuff. But I know it's kind of like the comment I'm seeing from Susie. I know exactly where I'm supposed to be, because I'm going to tell you something that goes very deep. What I am doing is I am holding my temple strong, because when the prophecies, which are already coming true, start to come true from the mixing of iron and clay, they will not have access to reconstruct my nucleuses in my body, which means I will not have the marks that you guys are resonating in the science to take on. So I am actually fighting you guys with your own science so that I can stay strong and healthy. That's why I don't have doctors that I have to go to. I don't have health conditions I have that come up in this stuff, because I keep my body strong because I know how to do it. And that right there is called empowering. And that right there removes fear.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry I left you clueless. That's
You're having a really nice moment there, Light. I don't know what happened there. That was wild. I don't know. You went way off there. That was real. I don't know.
You said you missed out. What I'm saying is I'm very strong with who I am.
Yeah, you're strong.
I'm God's
You're strong with who you are. You're the only naturopath, guys. I've completely decimated the lives of several naturopaths so far, and the Light's life is the only one that's come back. That is true. You are very resilient, and I don't know. Well,
I'm here to learn. Just because I don't agree with you does not mean, and this right here should be the testimony of what exactly people should be doing, learning from things that they don't agree with or align with, to make sure that I am on the right path. Right. Sure. So if anything comes about where this sends me on a different path, so be it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because my only desire is to know what truth is. That's it. And how to apply it.
And
so that's why I come back and learn from you guys.
Very happy to be your science correspondent in the world. If you ever have a science question, please always come back. You're always here anyway, Light, but I'm just letting you know. You're always
I will tell you, out of all the lives that I listen into when I'm doing work, yours is very, very informational, and it's fun.
Well, thank
So
you.
I appreciate you and all your guests, even if they don't align with me.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's actually very interesting. There's a lot of people that watch. Some of our biggest donators and stuff are Republicans. It's really interesting. A lot of people say that. So I appreciate that a lot because
Yeah, and also
I appreciate
I don't know
that.
if your mom. I don't know if your mom's still alive or not, but if how it, you don't have to answer that question. But I
She is.
have,
She
and
is.
well, here's the thing. I don't know if she's still a believer or not, but for whatever
She
reason,
does.
I've had it on my heart. Well, let me tell you this. I've had it on my heart to tell you that I don't know if she's been praying for you, but I felt it in my heart that she has. So I've joined, if she is, and you can ask her, I've joined her in the prayer. I just had this feeling that your mom's been praying for you. So I'm joining her in the prayer. And I've been praying for you to not only seek, so you can find a really good job, and hopefully it's better than the last one.
Thank you. That I'm sure she's right there with you, and she's been saying that same stuff. So I'm sure you guys are connected in some way, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just giving you what's on my heart. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
It was a couple days ago, and that's just it. And your guys your comments, everyone can mock me if they want, but this is genuine. I'm just telling you that. And because you and your family deserve every single thing. I don't even like the word deserve, but you guys have been set up in a system that failed you. And I really hope that you can seek something out of that that's even better.
Thank you. Thank you, Light. I appreciate you. And guys, like, I mean, you had said before that you actually support science funding. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to say that in front of everyone right now too, that you actually think that science should be publicly funded. And so I agree. I really appreciate that. I don't know. I wish there were more Maha people like you, and not like RFK. And it's stunning to me, but I think it's awesome that you still support publicly funded science. So,
yeah. Well, again, I do think that he's a joke. I think that that's just more controlled opposition to play the role in their game of what's coming into quantum. But either way, neither here or there, I support all science because I spend a lot of my extracurricular time looking at your science and even your resources you provided. So thank you.
Okay.
So let's say this: thank you that it's there for me to see.
Yeah.
And to look into.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome, Light. Thank you for talking. I appreciate you. So thanks for thinking of me and thinking the best for me, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And so.
Okay. Well, you guys have a good night.
All right. Thanks,
I'll listen
Light.
in a little longer. Okay.
Light is life, everyone. Thank you. Friend of the show, Light is light. We are all folded light. Yeah. I think she's a nurse in there, guys. I think that she means well. I really do. I think that I think she's and in her soul she's a good person. So yeah, that's what I think.